The Omaha Chamber Music Society was founded about 20 years ago by a group of musicians. Our mission is to bring and share great chamber music with the Omaha community any way that we can. So we do that with our summer concert series, which is our flagship concert series. It's a series of 4 concerts. And we also have the Good Vibrations program, which we founded about back in 2018. And we started by repairing stringed instruments that belong to kids in Title I. Omaha Public School. Stringed instruments are fragile. A lot of times a kid gets one because it's passed down through the family or somebody buys one for a special occasion. But the money to maintain and or repair that instrument is not typically in the family's budget. So that's where we come in.
This has been a dream of Judy's, to be able to go in and help these kids with their instruments. And most of the schools that we go to are Title I schools, students who don't have a lot of economic resources. When a student gets back an instrument from one of our shops and they open up the case and it looks like a brand new instrument and it works and it's got new strings and it sounds great, all of a sudden the student has got a lot more invested in that personally. They take care of it now.
My good friend Sherry Kennedy Brownrigg started talking to me from KVNO, and she said, let's do a used instrument drive, and KVNO will help you do that. And I thought, well, sounds great. We'll maybe get 20 instruments or something like that. We ended up with close to 100 that first time. I've lost track of how many instruments we've actually done, but we get donated instruments, we give them to professionals to repair, and then we distribute them to kids. So one at a time, we're changing lives.
Good Vibrations has a scholarship program, and the scholarship program is basically for a more advanced student. The teacher will sort of point these students out for us and say, this is someone that would really benefit from lessons, someone that might be playing a principal chair or something in their school orchestra, someone that's got some leadership potential, someone that's really getting good at their instrument. People will specifically donate money to Good Vibrations for the lesson scholarship program.
I love teaching the Good Vibrations students because they are truly students who they're working very hard. They were working hard before they had any lessons. They want to succeed, and so there's just a different kind of motivation for these students, I think.
Yo siempre me gustó inculcarles de que en la escuela tomaran clases de música. Decidieron que violín y me gustó la idea, y a mí me gusta ir la música de violín, y ella, mi hija Erika, le gustó, y pues de ahí decidimos yo y mi esposa apoyarla más. Un hermano de un hijo de él nos prestó un violín y ya decidió que ya lo ocupaba y se quedó sin violín.
I started playing in the 4th grade. I was a little worried because not having a violin was just crazy. When I got the opportunity to get a free violin, it was such a perfect timing.
Un día llegó de la escuela y dice, dice, mi maestra me regaló un violín porque dice que yo sí lo merezco porque lo ocupo.
We have a lot of education events in the symphony that go out and play with the students. And I remember when we very first started doing these, we call them music mentors or side-by-side events in the schools, the musicians would come back after the event, and very often they'd say something like, these kids' instruments are in terrible condition. I don't even know how they're playing these instruments. The shop that we're in right now is Sarah Gray Restoration. It's her specialty, and it's a craft that takes many years to perfect. Alex, who you met as a part of this project, he still thinks of himself as an apprentice, but to us, he's a craftsman. He takes care of these instruments.
What I want to have happen has happened, and that is a student gives me an instrument that's in really bad shape, and we get it fixed professionally with luthier services like what you see is going on behind me. The first time I saw a kid's face when I opened that case and he saw the violin that had been repaired, his face went like this. He couldn't even believe it was the same violin.
Usually there's always a story behind all of these instruments. Somebody used to play in the community orchestra, somebody used to play at the town hall. This came over from Germany sometimes. They came over when people would emigrate. That's one of the things that they would bring is that instrument. That's really important. And so the kids end up with these instruments, but a stringed instrument has to be regularly maintained. And some of these hadn't seen the inside of a repair shop for 20, 30, 40 years. We don't know.
This can go all over the country. There are repair places everywhere. There are people who have instruments in their homes that are collecting dust that could benefit a child.
I always tell people that the Omaha Chamber Music Society is nomadic. We don't have a home. except we sort of do have a home here at Flatiron. And it's a space that we're able to use for rehearsals, for private lessons, events like donor events, and so it's a beautiful space. Sometimes we're able to do things here that we couldn't do before, or that we would have to rent rehearsal space for.
One of the great things about the Omaha Chamber Music Society is the outreach arm of the organization. We have an education team that goes in and works with public school kids. We go in and play for them, and then we sit in their orchestra class while their teacher conducts, and we discuss their music and use that time to discuss string techniques with all of them. Music is a gift that will teach you a lot of things about how to learn, about discipline, about teamwork, and what you have to give. We can do that together.
There are a lot of deserving students out there, and like we were talking about the instruments, that can be financially prohibitive to not have an instrument that works for you. On the same token, like, you do need an instructor. It's very expensive to get a top-level instructor. I just think it's so cool that students who deserve that can have it.
Si quiere uno ver que sus hijos salgan adelante, es cuando tiene uno que apoyarlos en sus actividades de la escuela. Que llegues cansado, que estoy desvelado, que hora que esto, tiene que estar uno ahí con ellos. Sí hay mucha gente que, como nos pasó a nosotros, que sí necesita de un instrumento.
I'm very thankful for the program because without them I wouldn't have these classes and I wouldn't have the ability to grow.
What inspires me to keep going with Omaha Chamber Music is the players themselves. They love doing it. We've got a really great group of professional musicians in Omaha. Our audience at the conservatory, our summer concert series audience, we know them all. You know, they're people that we've known for years and years who come to our events because they know that they're going to have a really high quality experience.
This is something that makes us uniquely human, this gift of music, and I want to share that everywhere, anywhere that we can do that, because it's a great comfort. We can give each other this gift, and it doesn't matter what's going on in politics. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It matters what you're doing here and now, present. You're present in the moment.